Hi friends, it is Wednesday's Why, and boy do I have a Wednesday's Why for you. You know, sometimes I talk about things that I've learned from my clients and some things I've learned from myself. And this is something that is a self today. So this is near and dear to my heart because I've been dealing with it. So I'm obsessed with why. And I, as a healing modality and what I do, that's what we do. We have the most comprehensive diagnostic form of energy medicine. Well, what does that mean? That's like a big sentence, and it's like you want to break it down. Well, basically you break it down into we discover why. Okay? So let me explain. So last Sunday afternoon, I developed kind of like I went to work out after church, and I just became really uncomfortable. In other words, I went down to a squat, and it's like my whole back just kind of lost the ability to be strong. And I was like, ooh, that's weird. I don't want to, have any issues. So I stopped, and so I said, okay, I need to find out what's going on. Well, what we do when something like that happens is we ask the question, what in the terrain has changed? So I can go back, and that's why I said this is the diagnostic part. And I say, okay, was there an external physical? Well, in my particular case, I had been in a different room at church and it had some mold in the carpet. So by muscle testing, I found out, okay, we've got some mold issues involved. So then I ask, is there an external non-physical? In other words, is there some kind of person in your life that what they say or what they do is bothering you in the fact where it's just like, not so much an irritant, but sometimes it can resonate with something you've dealt with in the past. And so that person's energy or something that's happening will bring up that old issue that is resonating in your body. So that's something that can be part of this. This particular thing was not, but that's one of the things. Another one thing we ask is there an internal physical? In other words, what's happening inside the body that is making it more susceptible to something going on? So when I look at, when we test, we say, okay, what could be new in my life? So then I started going back and saying, okay, what things are new? And this, like I said, this has kind of been over, last couple of days. And so I came up with all the things that were new in my life. So new was that I had to use some essential oils, which I usually do not use in my life because I find them a little too toxic because I have some inhalant issues from my past. And in order to clean out the dryer of red pin. Got the red pin out, but man, did it bug us. So we had a lot of brain fog and things like that. So that could have been it, but I tested and that was not it. I had cleared that out of my system. The next thing is I realized, let's see, I actually bought some new sheets, and I always wash sheets because there's so many chemicals and fire retardants in sheets. So I washed those, but I put them on the bed, and I realized, wow, if I test those sheets in the nighttime field when I close my eyes against that area of my back, it tested weak. So there was still chemicals stuck in those sheets that were impacting me. So I washed those again. Other things is that we replaced a water filter, and that water filter, I had remembered when we first filled it that the carbon kind of came out a lot, and there's just like a lot of carbon in the sink, and so I had to kind of clean that up. And so when I tested the water filter, sure enough, the water coming out of that filter was bad for that back issue. So let's see. So those are three things. A lot of times they do get foods that are issues. Your spinal cord does hold a lot of fungal frequencies, and so it also holds a lot of viral frequencies that can be stuck in that area. But in this particular case, that wasn't it. But we would test to see if they're viral, bacterial frequencies that are stuck there. Parasites could be another one. Then we also test, is there an internal non-physical? So those are things like emotions, like do you have fear in your life? Are you frustrated? Are you angry? All those things can be stuck in certain tissues of your body and create a symptom. It could be a belief that the world is not safe or I'm not safe. And so you're getting, that's being held in your body. It could also be an intention that you have. I deserve to suffer. That's not something we really want in our life, but we don't realize that gets stuck in our tissue, and then we live that. Another one that actually this came up for me with this back issue is being in a crisis to not see the truth of my life. So I had a situation or something I had to make a decision on, but if we are in crisis or sick ourselves, then we don't have to make the decision. So we kind of default. And again, this is not something you want, but it's just something that your body, that we find with our clients, that it happens. We sometimes have punishing beliefs, and that could be something like, our life is about seeking comfort, but we choose to suffer. So that's kind of some of that same old beliefs that we might have there. Someone disappointed me would be another punishing belief. Or I'm going to disappoint someone else. So all of those kind of things get stuck in our tissue. And in my particular case, these were some of the things that were stuck in my lower back that was making it very sore. So that's some of the external things that we test, the internal things, but we also look at the body and find out when is the symptom manifesting. So it would manifest for me at 3:30 in the morning. Well, if you look at the Chinese calendar, 3:30 is a liver time. And so a lot of times what happens is the liver, if it's processing too many toxins, like the sheets, then you will wake up and your body can't deal with all that. And so a lot of times then you have to go to the bathroom or something like that to try to get rid of toxins. The other thing is I would always go to the bathroom. So that indicates that kidneys is involved. And if you look at the different segments of the spine, the spinal segments that were involved through muscle testing that I found out was T8, 9, 10, 11, and all of those deal with spleen, adrenals, and kidneys. So that's how we look at what time is going on, what structures are going on, and those are all things that can kind of indicate what's happening. So this is what we do. We muscle test to find out why the body is having a issue, and then find out, now you know what to deal with it. So in other words, do you need to get rid of new filter? Do you need to wash the sheets? Do you need to get rid of the foods that are bothering you? If the world is not safe, then what can we do in order to help you feel more safe? And so we find ways to help you clear that belief from your body so that it's no longer impacting you. So that's what I do. So I'm Jody Colgrove, and I'm an energy healing medicine practitioner, and I use muscle testing and energy medicine and a modality called quantum techniques to help you discover why you have a health issue and what you can do about it. And so this week, I was the patient finding out why I was having a health issue and what I could do about it to make my back feel better. And I just think it's amazing that sometimes we don't realize how much we've added to our life that could really impact us. I think there was also an herb in there that was bothering me too, that I had added. And so sometimes those things can creep up and you don't realize it. So I just enjoy helping others find out why they're having a health issue and what they can do about it. So look forward to working with you. If you have a question on why you're having an issue with back issues or some other kind of health issue, leave me some information below on what you're kind of dealing with. If it's a more private, you're certainly welcome to send me an email at jody@quantumtechniques.com. But just really want you to be able to have health and vitality and not live in some of those old beliefs of the world's not safe, I deserve to suffer, but to live in vitality and happiness and really get your health and happiness back. So that's my Wednesday's Why, and I hope you have a blessed rest of the week. All right, bye friends.